Mr. and Mrs. Paul and Leslie Christianson.
Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. We are just totally humbled by all the love that's been shared with us. You guys coming out and taking time out of your lives to share in our lives together. So without you, we are not much. I'm just kidding. Well, without family and friends to share this special day, and this just makes volleyball better. So thank you all for making the time to be here. Now that you've done, we really appreciate it. So.
Yeah, just in line with Paul's saying, we feel so blessed tonight, and it's just an honor to see each and every one of you here tonight. So thank you for being here, and we look forward to speaking with you throughout the night. So.
Thank you. On behalf of the bride and groom and both the Christiansons and the Grums, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight to witness and celebrate the union of Paul and Leslie. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Paul's older brother. When I was asked to give the toast today, I first tailored it to what my mom and dad would say. Unfortunately, my dad is typically a man of a few words, and his speech would likely be, "Congratulations to Paul and Leslie. Cheers." If I followed my mom's template, well, if I say this kindly, we'd probably get up against our 11 o'clock curfew and your lutefisk would be cold. Or I think you started cold anyway. Is that what we're having tonight, lutefisk? I get I know they both give great toast, both my parents, but tonight the primary honor belongs to me, and I'm very humbled to have been chosen. Now, I haven't been to a lot of weddings, so I decided to do some research about the typical role of the best man. So I found out in the early days, way back when, it was my role to actually go out with the groom and kidnap the bride. Now, I don't think that's necessary today, as Leslie was a more than willing participant. I then found out that not too long ago, it was the best man's duty to read out the telegrams of people who could not attend the ceremony. We all know that we live in an age of instant communication where you can take out your phone and video chat with people halfway around the world. I don't know if you knew this, but half of our family, Paul and myself, they live halfway around the world in the Netherlands. And they weren't able to make the trip tonight. So in keeping with tradition, I asked our grandfather if he would be willing to write a little telegram that I could read to you tonight. Here's what he wrote. Congratulations to Paul and Leslie, a verse from the book of Psalms. Where love lives, the Lord has commanded his blessings. But happiness also lives there. Not the kind of happiness you win as a prize. You see, a person can be happy without riches. Love and happiness a person cannot buy. In fact, it doesn't cost anything. The more you give, the more you receive. Congratulations once again from Bob and Home. Now, the final role of the best man that I thought was relevant tonight is to talk a little bit about the bride and groom and how they got to this point. Now, unfortunately, since I live in California, I haven't always been close to see this relationship grow in person. But since I'm friends with both Leslie and Paul on Facebook, I have been able to watch their grow via their posts on each other's Facebook page. Since everything on Facebook is pretty much public anyway, I thought I'd share those posts with you tonight. The first public posting between the two was on May 11th, 2008. Paul is in a relationship with Leslie. Since there was nothing to go on before, either it was a secret relationship or love at first sight. I'll go with the latter. December 26, 2008, Leslie writes, "I hope you have a wonderful birthday, honey. Love you." To which some guy named Benjamin comments, "Thanks, Leslie, but my birthday's in July." I hope you didn't invite him. August 6, 2009, Paul writes, "Mwah." Sounds like the love is mutual at this point. May 31st, 2010, Paul writes, "I have the best girlfriend in the whole wild world." So at this point, I think we know it's getting pretty serious. July 9th, 2010, Leslie writes, "Have fun at your golf tournament this weekend. I know you'll do great. I'm thrilled to be able to watch from our new backyard. Love you." So now we know they moved in together. There's nothing bad in here, don't worry. September 1st, 2010, Leslie writes, "You are simply the best. Thanks for all you do." A public hint that she thinks very highly of you, Paul. November 3rd, 2010, Paul is engaged to Leslie. A very public hint that Paul thinks very highly of Leslie. And yesterday, Paul wrote, "Over 2 years ago, I asked my best friend to marry me. Tomorrow, I finally have the honor of calling her my wife. Safe travels to all of our family and friends who are making the trip to share our special day. We are humbled beyond belief." So it looks like all of you have made it, so thank you for joining us. Obviously, there's much more to a relationship than these 8 postings. And while I'm tempted to talk about some embarrassing stories about Paul, I would like to spend my last couple minutes talking about this evening as a new beginning. Groucho Marx famously complained, "Why should I care about future generations? What have they ever done for me?" And though we are still waiting for future generations to come through, I believe that what these two have consummated this evening will be of lasting importance for future generations. And when I say that, I'm not speaking exclusively in a literal sense, although I'm sure there are a couple prospective grandparents whose ears may have perked up at that. I mean that marriage is not the finish line for the love and plans that these two have dreamed together, but only another step. And the way that they have grown into their love and have deepened their commitment to one another gives me great confidence. With so much uncertainty present in our daily lives, it's hard to know too much about the future, much less future generations. But the confidence these two inspire in us, as a couple, allows me to get what I feel is a glimpse of a shared, beautiful future. And it is to this future that I would like to raise a toast. To great beginnings. Cheers. And now we'll hand it over to the professional speaker, the pastor.